Konnichiwa! The Sega Genesis and Megadrive has an absolute ton of games for you to buy. But there's also a huge number of games that were cancelled and never released for the console. As a games developer myself, I know what it's like to have one of these games cancelled. And worst of all is to have a game that's cancelled when it was a surefire thing that would be released. Either it's gone through a full development phase, or the commitment has been made by the company to release this brand new game. And so today we're going to be taking a look at the top 5 cancelled games for the Sega Mega Drive and Sega Genesis. My name's Mike, and this is the Retro Gamer Boy Show. Before we get into this week's show, remember to leave a comment down below on your thoughts about cancelled games for the Sega Mega Drive or for any of your consoles that you love. And if you could leave a thumbs up on the video, that will help get this out to as many people who are interested in the same things you and I are. Mega Drive games, Genesis games, and retro gaming in general. So, let's check out these 5 cancelled Sega Genesis and Mega Drive games. At number 5 we have Mutant League Basketball. Now while this game didn't see a full development cycle, it was almost assured. The series had seen some decent success with Mutant League Football and Mutant League Hockey. And the team was so confident that the sequel would be made that they even announced it in Mutant League Hockey. You can see it in the credit stream in the actual game. Now there's a number of rumours floating around about why this game never actually saw a trilogy in the series on the Sega Mega Drive and Genesis. The most reasonable of these theories is that EA saw a number of next-gen consoles coming along and so wanted to bring the series to these consoles here. More power, better sound and a new audience. But we didn't see Mutant League Basketball come to any of the 16-bit or 32-bit consoles. In fact, it just never saw the light of day. We don't know how far along it got in development, but what we do know is that that team was set up and ready to go on their 3rd game in their series, completing their trilogy of the Mutant League series. Next up we see a game that never saw the light of day, and it was for the Sonic series, one of the most prolific and well supported game series on the Sega Mega Drive. In 1993, Yuji Naka was presented with a brand new concept for a Sonic game, and that game was Sonic 16. Now Sonic 16 was a game that was based off the Sonic cartoon that aired in North America and Europe, and it was taking that concept, the character design, and bringing it to Sega's 16-bit console. Sonic 16 was developed internally by Sega's STI team in North America, and the idea was to bring the fluid animation that you saw in the cartoon into the 16-bit console. Now the game brought back some of the traditional platforming mechanics that we see in all Sonic games. Jump attacks, spinning, navigating death traps, and taking on bad guys. But it was a slower paced game. There was an element of sneaking where you could go between layers, much like Little Big Planet, where you could move in and out of the environment. With Sonic 16, you could use this to avoid bad guys, or it would be part of the platforming nature of the game. The demo shows off some nice animation for Sonic, as well as some slower gameplay platforming, more I guess along the lines of Mario. Now why this got cancelled, no one really knows, but given the friction between Sega North America and Sega Japan, that may have factored into it. As well as that, it was a change of formula for the Sonic games. Rather than all-out sprint to the end, this has had a more considered approach to its platforming elements. It was a really interesting spin on Sonic. Super Star Wars for the Sega Mega Drive and Genesis. That's right, the game that is synonymous with the Super Nintendo was actually in development for the Sega Mega Drive and Genesis. Now this game was almost done to completion, nearly all levels were done. There are reports that this game was being ported to the stronger, more powerful Sega Mega CD, but that also never saw the light of day. Being a developer myself and seeing how Nintendo monopolized and dominated the gaming market at that time, I think it's more likely that Nintendo did a deal with LucasArts to have it as an exclusive for the platform. This happened so many times to Sega, where Nintendo's huge wallet was able to buy up exclusives. And why wouldn't you want one of the biggest IPs in the world exclusive to your platform? Now, Super Star Wars wasn't lost to the Sega Genesis forever, because recently a version of the game was found and downloaded to Hidden Place. So you can experience Super Star Wars on your Sega Mega Drive. Now there's nothing worse than pouring your heart into a game, bring it almost to completion, only to have it cancelled or not released. And this is exactly what happened to the team who were working on Dragon's Lair: The Adventure Continues. Now, Dragon Lair for Sega's 16-bit console was a side-scrolling platform game. Whilst the original game was an animated interactive cartoon, this would be an out-and-out platformer. Taito announced the game at CES's 1994 show. Now, this is a big deal. Announcing product at this show means that you want to engage with buyers. You want to engage with those big supermarket stores to sell your product. There's a certain amount of marketing budget that's also assigned to it, and the product is usually at a point where buyers can play and test it out for themselves. Now, just like our previous title, a build of this game has surfaced, and nearly every single level is actually in place for this game. So it was really advanced down the development line. Why it was cancelled? Again, nobody really knows. At this time, we did have the newer consoles coming out, so it's quite possible that they were looking at porting it to something like the Mega CD, something that could handle more of the FMV that we saw in the original. But to cancel a game that's this far down the development line is a costly thing to do, and the only reason why you wouldn't do it is that you're going to lose too much money by releasing it, or you see a bigger opportunity on the horizon. Regardless of the reason, that team must have been devastated to not see their game released. But decades later, a version of the game has dropped, so you can play through the game in almost its entirety on your 16-bit console. Our final title is a game that was cancelled at a point where it was 99% complete. This means that it would have gone through a whole QA phase and was getting ready to ship before it was cancelled. And that's Hardcore for the Sega Mega Drive. Now, Hardcore for the Sega Mega Drive was developed by Psygnosis. It's a side-scrolling platform shooter. Now, the story goes that this game was held back again to appear on the Mega CD. This new technology was extremely alluring for developers. It usually meant a bump in sales, and the new technology that the new consoles brought with them helped them build better experiences. But around 1994 is when Sony came into the market. It had a brand new console to support, and it needed developers to create games for it. It brought up a number of developers to build exclusive games for its brand new PlayStation platform. And one of those developers would be Psygnosis. Now, with Sony buying up Psygnosis, it meant all development on other platforms would drop. A few games that had been committed to for the Sega Saturn and for the N64 still made their way to those platforms. Slowly and surely, we saw Psygnosis fade out support for other gaming consoles. And Hardcore was one of those games that fell victim to this new deal with Sony. Now, the team never lost faith in the game that they had developed, And as we saw the advent of retro and classic gaming become bigger and more prominent in the gaming space, there was now a market to bring hardcore back to consoles. And so in 2018, the team published Ultracore, not only on the original Sega Megadrive, but also for brand new modern gaming platforms. A real success story from this cancelled, almost completely finished game. So those were my 5 top cancelled games for the Sega Mega Drive. I would have loved to have seen all of those come to market. But brand new consoles, market forces, exclusive deals, takeovers, all affected these games and prevented them coming out on the consoles they originally developed for. Now, if you're new to the channel and you've enjoyed today's show, then why not consider subscribing? You can do this by clicking on a little button just below the video. We also make brand new retro gaming videos every Monday. And if you never want to miss a show, then you can click on the little bell button, which is also just below this video. And to ensure you can get your retro gaming fix every day of the week, we've got a huge back catalogue of retro gaming videos for you to enjoy, 2 of which you can find over here.